Frank, with a guy like Talen, he essentially had an off season. Do you still view him as a rookie? I know this is his first experiences, but do you see kind of the experience of someone who was able to have a little bit of a professional basketball off season and work on his body and do some things?
Yeah, I mean, has been some benefits to that, but I definitely do see him as a rookie. I mean, he didn't hardly play at all in NBA games this year. And, he played in the G League and got a lot of experience there. But I do still view him as an inexperienced rookie. But more than that, he's a good basketball player. That has a skill set that fits what we're trying to do, and I had confidence putting him in there, and he rewarded that.
How would you describe it? So it mostly just seems like winning plays. It's kind of what it looks like.
Well, he can shoot, he can drive, and he can guard. You know what I mean? And he doesn't try to force. He plays within himself for the most part, which is a talent in itself. So like I said, those things fit no matter what experience level you are or age you are. So I was happy to see him have some success.
Kyle Goon?
Alex is one of several of you guys who was having a really tough time shooting when he first came into the bubble. What was he doing on the court that still gave him value in your rotation? And now that his shot is coming along and he has a moment like last night, what kind of confidence are you seeing out of him, especially in the playoffs where he's never been?
Yeah, well, Alex shot almost 50% from the three last year prior to me coming here. So I have a lot of confidence in his perimeter shot. And, he does everything else. His shooting is about 10th on the list of positive things he does for our basketball team. He's an elite defender that can guard multiple positions. That both, there's so many defenders that, you're either a great containment guy or you're elite in the passing lanes with deflections and steals, and he's both. And then he takes charges and has great verticality plays. So what he does for our defense is immeasurable. And his versatility offensively is a huge plus for us as well. With his ability to play off the basketball, to make plays on the bounce, to run the point. Again, just great offensive versatility as well.
All right, back to you, Tanisha.
Okay, Dave McMiniman.
Hey, Frank. How much is Kobe Carl an extension of your coaching staff? And when it comes to Talen's development, how vital was having a G League coach who was kind of giving him the information that would help him on the varsity level?
Yeah, it was. Kobe was very vital in Talen's development, and we tried to just having those guys in our building allowed us to just make our G League team an extension of what we're doing with the Lakers, with the LA Lakers, and obviously they did a great job with his development throughout the year, helped prepare him for the moment that you saw last night, and it's just an organizational win, to see that type of development with a young player.
Hey, Coach, Alan Sliwa here. Last night, 6 guys in double figures. Markieff Morris a point away from making it 7 guys in double figures. What do you take away from that? Aside from just guys hitting shots, was there? Is it the ball movement? What do you kind of take away from that type of balance?
Well, we have two big guns, 2 elite scorers that are make the right play types of players. So. They're gonna take advantage of double teams and move it on to the open man. We have an intention of trying to be a team first team, the way we play offensively, and when you have great ball movement and willing passers, and plenty of guys on the backside that are able to make plays, shooting the basketball, driving the basketball, all those types of things, you see that type of team win when you have multiple guys in double figures.
Last question, Melissa Rowland.
Thanks, Tanisha. Hey, Frank, AD talked about yesterday about how a lot of players say that they're willing to do anything and everything to help their team, but then when it comes down to it, that isn't always the case. And he talked about how JaVale and Dwight specifically having a lesser role in this series are still the loudest on the bench and have been totally engaged. Have you seen from them a type of commitment that really stands out to you?
I would echo Anthony's sentiments, and we've talked about that each of the last couple games with JaVale and with Dwight. Their energy on the bench is a big part of our group's enthusiasm. There's no fans, you know what I mean? So how active we are, how engaged we are with the guys that are not on the floor is a big part of generating our own energy. And Dwight and JaVale were the loudest guys on the bench last night. So they're very actively involved, and their role acceptance in a matchup-oriented series like this is everything, and it's a big reason why we're winning. If they're unhappy or disgruntled or anything like that, it pulls away from what we're trying to do, and those guys deserve a lot of credit, for their approach and handling the role that's been given to them for this series.
Coach, I have two late hands. You mind taking just a couple more questions,
Sure.
please?
Yep.
Thank you. Brian Lewis.
Hey, Frank. I'm just curious with Phil Handy. I mean, what has Phil brought to your staff? And I guess the second part of that is, he's been linked to his talk. Steve Nash might try to pry him away for the Nets. What's your policy on guys interviewing? You expecting to wait till after the season, or do you kind of give them go ahead to do that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's case by case, and it's really just like the rest of the league. If any of our assistants have an opportunity, to have an advancement opportunity, then we typically would grant permission. But it would be case by case, and I don't know anything about the situation you mentioned. But Phil Handy brings great experience to our team. He's been in the finals the last 5 years. And obviously has great experience and background working with LeBron. Does a great job with our whole group in player development, and has been an integral part of our success this year.
Last question, Harrison Fagan.
Hey, Frank, you guys have mentioned the late start times for games as a struggle a few times, like over the course of the bubble. I was just wondering if you felt like last night's result was anything to do with the earlier start time, or if you guys got any kind of boost from that.
No, I don't think so. And just so we're clear, I'm not intending to complain about the late starts. People ask what the schedule looks like after that. I answer the question. But the early start last night, the only benefit from that I don't think was seen in the game. I think it was just seeing that it was nice to get back to the hotel at a reasonable hour.